Yep, we did it. We bought 11 acres of untouched jungle on a floodplain in a developing country. Crazy, right? We fell in love with a village called Hopkins and started building toward our dream on the majestic City River.
Our last trip was amazing. We actually did some vacation things with family, like checking out the ruins and spending a couple days out at the reef. Once the family had left though, I got straight back to the property to get as much done as possible. I will be back soon, right? And then COVID happened. We actually heard reports of things happening in China, but honestly didn't think much of it. I mean, how bad could it be? We had seen other things like this before. In 2003, Canada went through SARS, and the Toronto area was hit hard. With this new virus, things seemed to progress incredibly quick. Everything started to close back home, and we thought, oh, that's just the Canadian government being overly cautious. Then airports closed, borders closed. Now what? We had introduced Junior before, but man, were we lucky to have found him. We finally felt the property was in good hands, and man, were we right. Wait, is that the gringo in the water showing the Mayans how to build a rock wall? Really? As soon as I left, they took over, and yes, they did have to rebuild my section. The wall was extremely important to stop the erosion from all the boats and would take several months to do. But who knew we would have 15 before I could get back to Belize? The guys worked incredibly hard, and Junior would send us update photos and videos so we could see the progress. Man, it really started to look great. Some areas though would collapse or sink, and they would fix it right away. It will require ongoing maintenance if we wanted to continue to look like this. Now my job was just to make sure they didn't run out of rocks. These piles are after they have picked through all the usable rocks. One of the other major tasks I had Junior take on were the plants. I knew we would require thousands and thousands to fill in the landscaping. So he started taking cuttings whenever he found something cool. He even started many from seed. We also started to purchase plants. I would find someone selling on Facebook Marketplace, place an order, and they would deliver. We did this several times to build up our base of plants. All the smaller plants were either put in bags or in many cases planted in the new nursery on the edge of the orchard. And yes, we started an orchard, purchasing whatever I could find. Junior, of course, would have no idea what the plan was, so I started making, I guess, how-to videos, and we would discuss everything over and over until we got it right. The guys started getting many of the fruit trees in the ground and in the rows just like I wanted. They hand dug a hole around each tree and filled it with better soil, then planted the tree. Over the years, we have amended more of the soil, moved trees, and even had to dig some out to raise them up. A little more work and the orchard will be great. It's already bearing fruit, and the trees that aren't, most will start this year or next.
Okay, so now we're gonna have, this is the 5 acres. There's Don's square pond and Don's ditch and the river. The property line is right through here. Oops, right through here. You can kind of see it. And it runs right down to there. So everywhere you see brown, we need to still fill this.
Ah yes, I needed to somehow try and keep the earth moving going as well. So I also did videos and then hoped that they understood them. We really needed to keep that aspect of development going if we can, as all the major landscaping has to be done before we can build so many of the buildings. I had to keep the guys busy somehow, so I also laid out a basic water plan so they could start on the initial plumbing for the property. It took many drawings and many calls, but eventually we got on the same page. Or did we? That's better. They were doing a great job. As soon as we could get connected to the City River Water Board, we would have water. I was always trying to think of things for the guys to do, and it was not easy. But I figured it out. They installed culverts. They capped them nicely. They built concrete posts at the entrance so we could install a chain. We had a tree guy come and make us some beams out of a dead tree. Oh, and yes, the backhoe. When it worked, it was a huge help, but it's been broken down much more often than working. I knew I was buying a piece of junk, and it certainly has earned that reputation. I should add, though, that one of Belize's issues is the lack of good mechanics. I have not found one yet. Junior would run errands, Getting the maintenance done on the vehicle we bought. Oh yeah, we purchased a 2004 Xterra. He kept it pretty clean. He would pick up plants, pick up other things we bought, check out stuff that was garbage, and he had to deal with paying all the bills. One thing I should mention is I check Belize Marketplace groups every day. We bought that piece of junk backhoe on there, and that's also where we found our compact tractor. She's been amazing. We were really missing the property. Junior was really great at sending us update pictures and videos. It just made us so happy to see anything from the property and hear the birds. We missed it so bad, but at least things were moving forward. Here are some images and videos after a Cat 1 hurricane rolled through. The property flooded, but look how much water is on the road. And even crazier, this is the beach. The river flooded right through Hopkins and was pouring into the ocean. Crazy. As COVID started to really drag on and with no end in sight, I had to keep coming up with things for the guys to do. Everything took a lot of communication. This would have been impossible in a Spanish-speaking country. I had them start to dig some perimeter ditches and just figure out where buildings would go. I needed another big project though, like the wall or the orchard to keep them busy, and I came up with one. They can create a walking path through the jungle on the 6 acres. Great idea. I literally did a sketch on a Google Earth image to roughly explain what I wanted, no straight lines, and talked it over with Junior at length. And then I let him loose, let him become Mother Nature. It turned out amazingly well, and we have been landscaping Junior's nature trail ever since. COVID-19. Wow, never saw that coming. We got through it the best we could. We did what we were supposed to and just tried to stay positive. Life is never easy, and COVID sure proved that point. We were healthy all through COVID, and I know many weren't. And even though my company never shut down, I never caught COVID. We got our vaccinations so the minute things opened up, we could get back to Belize as soon as possible.
Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. And for more real-time updates, you can follow us on social media. Bye!